Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, and we're going to have some fighting words. But before we go any further, I need for you to like this video and also subscribe to my channel. So in this video, I got to do the fight breakdown for Jermall Charlo. I've done one for Canelo Alvarez, so I got to do one for Charlo. So let's just jump on into it. When I look at the two fighters, there are definitely conflicting styles. Even body types, like Jermall Charlo is a big dude. Like, he's a very big dude. It's very rare you'll see him, either one of the brothers, but out of shape. But I've seen him not in fight shape, and he's a big dude. So I'm just like, okay, like you're not a small guy. So looking at this fight breakdown, automatically from the rip, I think he has to utilize his size and impose his will as the bigger guy. And it's amazing every time I do a fight breakdown involving Canelo in 168-pound division, I keep saying the same thing and nobody has done it yet. Now, mind you, Canelo's last two fights were Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant. Now, those are two guys who weren't physical guys. They were more footwork type guys and jabbing type guys. Well, Charlo is more of a physical type guy. He is definitely a jabbing type guy, but he's the type of guy who can hold his ground. See, that's what separates him from Canelo's last two opponents. You have a big guy who can hold his ground. So that's the first thing. Take advantage of your size. Take advantage of your size. And if necessary, because trust me, you are fighting Canelo Alvarez, which means you will be soon fighting. Before you know it, rounds are going to start accumulating, and before you know it, you'll be fighting in a telephone booth. Therefore, you need to learn or to implement, not necessarily bullying, I don't want to say it like that, but use your size. Listen, bump him back. Do whatever you got to do. Push him off of you. Do whatever you got to do. It's a fight. Push him off of you. Push him to the other side of the ring. Let him know I'm bigger than you. Let him know I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. Let him know. And you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something that he hasn't, not that he hasn't seen, because Canelo's got so many fights, he's seen everything. So it's not that he hasn't seen it, but for the most part, I think either guys give Canelo way too much respect, or they just kind of are like insects staring at light and they're just kind of like mesmerized by it. I think that's what happens. Charlo needs to very early implement, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I will not be backing down from you, and I'm going to dictate the pace of this fight. You're going to have to do that very early. Round one. Another thing that I feel like Charlo is going to have to do is pace himself. He has an issue with dipping. And when I say dipping, I mean like his energy levels kind of go down. I'm not in no way, shape, or form saying he's a 4-round fighter. I'm not saying that, because he does rise back up. But I think it's because he starts so early, so fast, that by the time those middle rounds get there, he needs a second win. And he might take a round or two off. And that's usually when his opponents will kind of come alive or kind of get their get back from the earlier rounds. So I think he needs to pace himself. He needs to know Canelo's never been down. Canelo has never been like brutally beat up in a round or anything like that. So you need to pace yourself so that you can be consistent every round. Because believe me, once he gets going, Canelo I'm talking about, once he gets going, he's going to get going. He's not going to slow it down. And he's going to try to hunt you. He's going to try to stalk you. And he's going to try to press you. Even though he's a smaller guy, he's going to try to stalk you. Canelo has a very heavyweight mentality, even though he's fighting at the weight he's fighting at. And even though he came from the weight that he came from, he has a heavyweight mentality. So you're going to have to dictate the pace of this fight. You're going to have to utilize your jab. Canelo is not the biggest jabber in the world. So since he's not, take advantage of the fact that he's not and that you naturally are. Jab, jab, jab. Listen, accumulate your points. But on top of that, it will set something up. you're going to have to set something up. One of the great things about Jermall Charlo, I keep getting ready to say Jermall Charlo, is he has a nice little mixture of punches. He's not like some guys who just throw one punch over and over and over again. He has a little arsenal. He has an arsenal of punches. And I mentioned before that he was very athletic. But because of his athleticism, he can punch from any angle. Like wherever his feet plant, he can throw a punch from there. As big as he is, and I've seen him do it a few times, he doesn't do it as frequently as Lomachenko. But I've seen him do like Lomachenko. Wherever he'll pounce around. And wherever his feet land, he'll just throw a punch from there. I've seen him do it. He did it in the Dermachenko fight, actually, a few times. He also did it in, I believe his name was Dennis Hogan. I think I said his name right. If I didn't, I do apologize if you are watching this video. But he can fire off wherever he plants his feet. And he's going to have to do that because Canelo is very explosive. And once Canelo gets in his head that maybe you're backing up or maybe you're not what he thought you thought you were or whatever, he's coming for you. He's not going to slow it down. Canelo's kind of like the Terminator like that. You remember in the movie where it's just like, he'll just keep coming. That's all. And like the guy's trying to tell the lady, he's just going to keep coming. He's not going to stop. He's just going to keep coming. Canelo's like that. He's not going to stop. He's just going to keep coming. So that jab is going to be very important because it's going to keep Canelo at a distance. That's what you're going to need to keep him off of you. It's going to keep him at a distance so that you can fully let your hands go. And also that you don't get so, I don't want to say get like nervous or anything like that, but like if you can keep him here, you'll have a certain comfort level because he hasn't crossed that line. And that's what you need. You need that comfort level because although Jermall Charlo can fight in a telephone booth, I don't necessarily think it's the best place for him in this fight. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And if the distance and your height and your reach is going to be Canelo's deficit, keep it that way. Don't allow him to be in his comfort zone. Don't allow him to work at a space in a distance that he's comfortable in. No, you want him to work in a space that you're comfortable in. So that's my reasoning for saying that. Stay off the ropes. Jermall Charlo can fight in a telephone booth, but for some reason, and it's shown with both of the brothers, don't know why, the minute their backs touch ropes, I don't know, they just kind of get stagnant, and they just kind of shell in. They don't do a whole lot. So again, back to your size, utilize the fact that you are stronger than him. Utilize the fact that you are bigger than him. Tie him up. I've been saying this for the last few videos, and the only reason why I keep saying it is because he's like a master of training it. If I were in your shoes, I would employ Kenny Porter, the father of Sean Porter, for one very particular and precise little detail and strategy, tying opponents up. He has taught Sean Porter so well to tie opponents up and then switch out. And now their backs are against the rope. If you could do that, because he can fight up close in the center of the ring. But once his back touches the rope, I don't know if he just gets a little nervous. I don't know what the deal is, but I do know he's not as active. He will kind of sit there for a moment and just kind of weather or endure whatever shots are coming at him. So do not stay in those ropes. Don't get yourself too close to him. If you can, you should be able to tie him up and you twist him around. You muscle him to the rope. And now you have all that space behind you, and now you can get back to your jab. Another thing that Jermall Charlo has, which he does really well, he can fight backing up. I mean, he can have a full-on fight backing up, like Muhammad Ali. and I'm talking early stages Muhammad Ali, like when he was Cassius Clay, he can actually back up, throw punches. I've seen him do it. Throw punches, throw combinations. So utilize those things. You can do it. You do have the athleticism. Utilize those things. You're not going to beat Canelo in the speed factor. Okay. But you will beat him in the power and strength categories. You got him in those categories. Okay? So take advantage of it. And now you can, whenever you're pressed back, because there will be points where you are going to be pressed back, you can get back to your comfort zone. You can switch it out. You can tie him up. You can muscle him down. And you can say, I'm bigger than you. In case you forgot, remember last 2 rounds, I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. Make him uncomfortable. Make him work for it. Make him come towards you. Make him chase you. Because, yes, Charlo can definitely press. That's what they're known for. But he can back up and fight. That's the difference. You got somebody who can be just as offensive backing up as he is going forward. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of it. Switch it up. Maybe one round, be offensive. Test the waters. Next round, be offensive, but back it up. Test the waters. See what he does. See if he'll fall into any traps. It's a possibility he could just fall into any trap. And, I said it in my Canelo breakdown. I do believe that when it comes to power, I do believe that they might be similar. I'm only giving Charlo the notch for power because he's bigger. Because like I said, Charlo probably can easily hit 200 pounds, like no problem. So I'm gonna give him the power notch. So again, what if you switched it up? What if you fought backing up and Canelo ran into something? What if? It's a possibility. Again, you're taller. You got the reach factor. You got the reach. You got strength. You got power. I am giving you power by 1 notch. So if it's like 9, 10, that's it. But by 1 notch, okay, you could muscle him down. Muscle and power are 2 different things, meaning he could tie him up. Canelo couldn't really do anything with him if you were to bear hug him and switch him over. You could do these things. It could frustrate him, possibly. You listen, do whatever you got to do. This is the biggest opportunity that you've ever had in this sport. Take full advantage of it. And if there's one thing I would tell you, please do not get caught up in the lights. Please do not get caught up in the crowd that more than likely, since it's going to be in Texas, is going to be a pro-Canelo crowd. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the press conference. Canelo fights have a way of just kind of getting personal. Don't get caught up in that. Do not get caught up in that. The Charlos already walk around with a chip on their shoulder. And I honestly think that works for them. Not many people does it work for. I believe it works for them. And I think they rely on that to push them in training camp and rely on that to push them in the fight. Because they feel that most people don't believe that they'll do it, or they don't believe that they deserve what they have. They don't believe that they should have belts, or they don't believe that they should be in the position that they're in. So therefore, they walk around with these chips on their shoulders. Well, if ever you needed to use that extra energy, now's the time. This is the fight. Don't get mesmerized. And those are my thoughts. You all know the routine. Drop your comments down below. And as always, please like, please share, please subscribe.